Hey guys, and thanks for tuning in to this video. I wanted to share this video because this morning in my meditation, I received this really powerful download, and it's all about surrendering. Now, surrendering is something that I mean, let's be real. Every human being has a problem with surrendering at least one point in their life, some more than others. And if you are on that path of wanting to develop your intuition and spiritual gifts, surrendering is something that is going to be a big issue. And it's something that you have to learn and bring into your life every single day in order to really achieve the results that you want as far as your evidence in psychic readings or your connection to spirit or whatever the case may be. So in this download, I had a really powerful message come through. And if you're interested in listening to the message, I actually don't have it on me right now, but I did share a podcast episode, which is the Intuitive Souls podcast, and it's episode 99. If you want to hear the audio of it, I also have a blog that I posted on my website, which is ericarusso.co. All of this information will be in the show notes for you. But I wanted to do this video to give you 3 tools that came through that I believe are super powerful and that I am going to start incorporating in my own life as far as surrendering is concerned. So, the first tool that came through was stating this affirmation out loud. Okay, so it says to state out loud, I choose to surrender to the current moment. I allow Source to take control of the situation. While you have your right hand on your heart and your left hand in the air. And this is something that you might have to say a couple of times in order for it to stick. And every time you say this, you want to take a quiet little moment to check in with your energy. Check in to see if you have felt a shift in your energy. Check in to see if it went from positive to negative. Or, are you breathing a little easier? We don't realize the power of affirmations or declarations. And we can sit there and say all these affirmations, but if we're not feeling it, if we're not in the present moment with it, I don't think it works. So that's the first tip. The second tip I want to share with you guys is visualize for 10 minutes with this question as your intention. If I completely surrender, what would my life look like? Okay, if you were to completely surrender to every compliment you receive, everything that you try to control, every problem that comes your way, if you were to just surrender, what would your life look like? Now, this is an extremely powerful exercise, especially for someone who is dealing with anxiety. If you are one that, has anxiety on a semi-near basis and it's a big problem in your life, sometimes we just have to get outside of our minds long enough to realize that, anxiety comes from fear. All right. Anxiety stems from a place of fear. And we have to remember that we are not our thoughts. And sometimes we have to be our own coach and we have to be like, okay, well, I'm nervous about this or I'm anxious about this. And this is the worst case scenario that can happen in this circumstance. And then if you realize that that worst case scenario is something that you can deal with, that it's not going to break you, it's not going to ruin you, it's not going to completely tear your whole life apart, sometimes we take our power back that way. We give so much power to these anxieties that we hold that we realize with all of this energy that we're bringing into a certain worry or a certain concern, we're giving our power away. So this is a really powerful tool to take that power back. Now, the last tip I want to share with you is find one thing per day you can surrender to. So if this is something, if you have a spiritual ritual or a journaling ritual in the morning or a gratitude ritual, whatever the case may be, add this question to your journaling where you state, find one thing per day you can surrender to, okay? It can look very different for everybody. Sometimes it's surrendering to traffic that we are stuck in going to work. You know what I mean? Instead of sitting there all pissed off and honking and hemming and hawing, just enjoy being in the car. Just enjoy having this time to yourself and relaxing and maybe doing some breath work or putting on a podcast and just being grateful for this moment that you're not doing 80 miles an hour to work. You know, sometimes the surrendering is surrendering to your children. You know, all of the frickin' snacks that they eat and all of the questions and all of the whining and stuff like that. Sometimes, guys, it's okay to surrender and let your kids have that fourth Cheez-It. Sometimes it's okay for them to have another pouch of a pack of gummies, okay? As stay-at-home moms, when I was a stay-at-home mom, my mental health was not a priority. And I realized that that was a big mistake on my part, you know? I'm going to sit here and tell you that sometimes surrendering to your kids and just allowing them to be kids will help you tremendously in your emotional and mental and spiritual growth, you know, because we can only do the best that we can do. We can only teach our kids to be good kids. We can't control how many times they ask us to put on Paw Patrol. We can't control how many times they ask us to buy them a Nintendo game. You know what I mean? And sometimes we just have to surrender. We just have to surrender. Another way that we can surrender in a day is surrendering to a compliment. You know, how many times have you received a compliment and you were like, oh, yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, oh, I look so bad. Or you find something to compliment the other person about. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. How many times have you just received a compliment from someone, whether it be, you know, the way you do something, the way you approach something, or in your physical appearance, and you say something back like, oh, I like your earrings. Oh, this, no. Oh, of course, no, you're so much prettier than me. Why can't we just sit there and surrender to it? Why can't we just say thank you? You know, this is a big deal for a lot of women. This is a big deal for a lot of women. So surrender to a compliment from time to time. So these are the three things I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you are able to incorporate them in your everyday, in your spiritual development, in your personal development, whatever the case may be. Even if you're not doing any of this stuff, I hope that these tips help you, because I think they're super powerful and I know that they help me. So have a great day, and I will see you soon.